Hello, dear students. Today we are starting our new chapter, and your chapter is General Principle, General Principles and Processes for Isolation of Elements. Okay, what does the chapter name? This is the complete chapter name, General Principle and Processes for Isolation of Elements. First we will discuss what do we mean by isolation. This is a strange word you see. Isolation means to say something which is alone. Okay, like we know that total 118 kinds of elements in periodic table, but in nature they are compounded. They exist in compound form. Mean to say alone they are not available. Alone not available. So we have to do some processes. Like if we have to extract iron particularly, because iron is needed for some many purposes, to build bridges, vehicles, copper as well for wires we need. But these elements, on basis of our requirement, we need alone, or you can say in pure form. But they are not present in nature. In nature, they are exist in compounded form, mean to say with some chemical compound composition. Usually in their oxides, because oxygen is quite reactive, which is in nature available. So they almost elements exist in the form of their oxides. So first thing, we do not have elements in pure form. So we want them in pure form, mean to say alone, isolation. That is called isolation, mean to how to convert an element from compound to isolate. Okay, that is isolation of element. Now these are general principle and processes, mean to say general particularly, sadharanatah, mean to say these processes, we will discuss only those principles and processes which are almost applied on every element. Okay, those processes are termed as general principle and processes. So we will in this chapter discuss these principles and processes which are involved to extract element in pure form from an compounded form or whatever form it existing in nature. Now let's discuss how it exists in nature. Okay, so wherever our element exists, that particular term is termed as mineral of that element. Okay, now let's take an example like iron, Fe particularly. In nature it exists in the form of a hematite like Fe2O3, and it also exists in form of iron pyrite, particularly Fe2S. So these are, wherever iron exists, those are termed as minerals particularly. But let's say these both are what? Minerals. But what we will choose? Which one of these we will choose to extract iron? Should we choose this one or this one? If we go for the natural cause, then this ore will be more preferable. Why? Because if you extract iron from here, it will not result in production of SO2, while if you extract iron from here, it will give SO2 gas, which is harmful particularly. Okay. The other thing on which mineral we will use is depend on efficiency. Mean to say iron is present in greater in which form. Okay, so we know the minerals are naturally existence of different elements. Okay, but what do you mean by ore? Now, ore, these are two terms particularly. Ore is the mineral actually from which elements, or you can say particularly we extract metals. You can also write down that is the mineral from which metal. Okay, but element involved everything. So ore is the mineral from which element can be extracted economically and commercially as well. Mean to say in greater quantity. Economically mean to say we have to apply lesser processes if that will be more economical to us. So minerals from which element is easy to extract, that particular mineral is termed as ore. Okay, and we usually use ores from where we extract this. In ore particularly, extra impurities present with the element to be extracted are termed as gangue, or you can also call them matrix or just simple impurities. So here, first of all, to start this chapter, we must understand what is these particular three terms: mineral, ore and matrix. Wherever the element we want to extract, it always available with some impurities. Those impurities are gangue and matrix first thing. Okay, usually silica. Okay, usually silica you will find everywhere as impurity. Second thing, what do you mean by mineral and ore? So wherever your element exists in whatever form with, those are termed as minerals. Usually you will see that gold, silver, these elements are known as noble elements. They you can find out in pure form, but some other elements like iron, copper, reactive elements, they will not find out exactly in pure form. So we need them to refine, some processes we have to done to extract them in pure form. So first of all, we will check where the element we are needed, where it is available in nature. So wherever it is available in nature, that is termed as mineral of that element. Okay, but out of those minerals, from where that element can be extracted easily, economically and commercially, that mineral is termed as ore particularly. So I hope that these three things you have got cleared so far. Okay, now I am listing some ores of some important elements. So first of all, let's discuss which element, particularly metal, exists most. So aluminium is the metal, among metals we are talking, most available metal in nature, earth crust. On second, it is iron which is present. Okay, I am again telling them we are discussing metal. Okay, if you go by elements, so on earth, oxygen is the largest. Oxygen is most abundant, because usually all elements exist in the form of their oxides. Like if you go with the silica, still there is oxygen. Okay, that's why we are saying that in earth crust, oxygen is the most abundant element. But out of those elements, we usually need metals. So among metals, aluminium is the first one, which our earth crust is richest of. Second one is iron or another metal, which is at the second number on the basis of the availability. Okay. Now we know that if we need to extract these elements or any other elements, we need to particularly find out ore of these elements, and we have to discuss as well, like aluminium is extracted from or usually known as bauxite. See, ore name you can call. This is element you are extracting. Okay. Here chemical formula must you learn one or at least for each element. Like for bauxite you will write down Al2O3 XH2O particularly is the chemical formula for aluminium. If you go for iron, then I have already told you hematite one. Another you can also use magnetite. It is easy to learn magnetite because iron have magnetic property and their formula are quite simple. This is Fe2O3, here it is Fe3O4. Okay. One more I have told, that is iron pyrite. Okay. Another one you can go for copper. Okay. For one copper is copper pyrite. Copper pyrite you can call it CuFeS2. This is your copper pyrite particularly. Okay. One is copper glance. Another one is for zinc. We must know zinc. Okay, calamine, like existing in form of zinc carbonate. Zinc pyrite is also. So these are the usual some popular ore of some popular elements that we extract, okay, for particularly, and their chemical formula as well are given in the table. In your book also this table is available. Okay, you must learn at least one ore and its chemical formula particularly for each particular metal we need to extract. Okay, so far we have discussed what is the basic terminology like minerals or gangue, and some particularly ores name of some popular elements or metals we extract particularly. Okay, now there is a more terminology I want to tell you, that is known as metallurgy. Metallurgy involved. Metallurgy is the various processes. Metallurgy is the various processes that is applied to extract a metal, particularly metal. Okay, not non-metal. We also discuss the extraction of some non-metal as well later. But first we are discussing metallurgy, and for metals it is termed as metallurgy. That is the various process that is applied to extract a metal in its pure form. Those all processes collectively are called metallurgy. Okay, so this is the another term particularly you must know. 4 terms I have given you to start this chapter: mineral, ore, gangue and metallurgy. Okay, now I am telling you some basic general methods which we apply to extract elements. Okay, what we do, the first step for every element, we are talking general. Okay, so first step is you will do concentration of ore. You must know, before starting the concentration of ore, one general thing you must always know, that you will from ore first grind it. Okay, grinding, converting in powder form. You must have it in powdered form. Okay. After that we apply this first step. that is concentration of ore. The concentration is also known as beneficiation or dressing as well. These three names: beneficiation, dressing, or you can say concentration of particularly ore at first step. The second step is extraction of metal. Extraction of metal from concentrated ore. Concentrated ore. This is second process is usually in two-step process. First, A is convert metal into metal oxides, or you can say into its metal oxide. Whatever kind of oxide it is forming, convert first into its oxides. Then the second step is B, reduction. Okay, reduction gives you crude metal. Crude metal means to say a little bit more impurities are present. That's why we apply third step, that is known as refining. So whichever element you are extracting, usually three steps we always discuss. Like if we are discussing the extraction of iron, so first of all we will go how we will do the concentration, then we will decide how we will do the convert metal into iron into its oxide, then we will decide how to do the reduction, then how to refine that element. Mean to say these are the general three steps we involved in the extraction of each and every element. Okay, so today we will discuss up to here only. Okay, now your homework is, first thing, read the first 2 pages. Okay, first 2 pages NCERT. Second thing, sort out 10 Q's and answer in your rough notebook. Okay, that's your homework part. Thank you.